Hi everyone, this is Tom from learnmusicwithtom.com and you're watching a free preview lesson on my upcoming course, Music Theory Basics. Today we want to have a look at flats and sharps, and if you like these type of contents, if you like free lessons, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, like it and share it with your friends and family. This will help me a lot to grow in this channel and provide you with more content like this. Now enough of the talk, let's jump right in. If you haven't watched the previous video about the musical alphabet and the basic 7 letters we use for it, then go ahead and watch it, because everything we do in this lesson, it builds up on the previous one. So today we want to have a look at flats and sharps and what they do. So as we learned in the previous lesson, our musical alphabet consists of the letters A, B, C, before we start over again with A. So what about all these other beautiful, wonderful sounding black keys here on the keyboard? Well, these notes, they're kind of special because they can have 2 names, and the name they have derives from the note they are reached from, so to speak. So if we have a look at this black key here, to determine its name, we either can derive from an A and make the A sharp, which means that its pitch will rise half step. So when we do this, we put a sharp on this A, we end up with a pitch that we call A sharp. And the same note can be reached by putting a flat on the B. So if we put a flat on the B, we will end up on the B flat. Simple, right? So basically you can put a sharp or a flat on any note. But as you can see here on the keyboard, not every white key is neighbored by a black key, okay? But every black key is neighbored by a white key. That means that when we take a look at B and C, you can still put a sharp on a B and end up on this white key here, and you could call it B sharp, alright? And there's nothing wrong with that, it's perfectly fine. And you could also put a flat on the C, call it C flat, and end up on the key here that we already know by the name of B. So if that's confusing to you, then you're not alone. Many people are confused by that. The takeaway from this lesson, the thing that I want you to remember is, any note can be altered in pitch by putting a sharp or a flat on it. When you put a sharp on a note, the pitch will rise a half step. When you put a flat on a note, the pitch will lower by a half step. So we already took a look at sharpening the A, which will result in an A sharp, and flattening the B, which will result in a B flat. So this key here has 2 names, 2 possible names, A sharp or B flat. And this concept of naming a note depending on which note it derived from, okay? This concept you also can find as enharmonics. So depending on where a note is derived from, if it's sharpened or flattened, it will have another name. Alright, so I only want you to take away here in this lesson the 5 black keys. So don't worry about sharpening or flattening white keys that do not have a black key in between them. I do not consider this basic music theory, okay? It's fine if you can already remember it and handle it, but honestly, it's not something that you encounter very often in your early musician days, and also later on, if you're a very experienced musician, you will not encounter it every day, most probably not. Hope you can understand what I mean. Okay, let's head on. We have the A to the A sharp and the B to the B flat. The next one we want to have a look at is the C to the right, C sharp, and we end up here on this beautiful black key. And we can also end up here by taking a D and flattening it, making a D flat. So this key can either be C sharp or D flat. Very good. When we head on and alter the D, raise it in pitch a half step by putting a sharp on, we will end up with, correct, D sharp. If we have an E and we flatten it with a B, we will end up with E flat, which is again the same key, the same note. Alright, so this note, D sharp or E flat. Very good. Let's jump on. Here again we find a position on the keyboard that does not have a next black key but only a next white key, okay? Let's skip it for now because we only want to focus on the basics. So if we have an F with sharp, we call it F sharp. It's easy as that. And we end up on this black key. We can also reach that note by lowering the G to a G flat. Correct. So this black key is either an F sharp or a G flat, depending on which note is manipulated to reach that pitch. And there is one more black key we want to cover, and we're going to start from below the black key, which is the G, and we raise it up to the G sharp. Correct. You can also reach that pitch here by lowering from above, which is the A, and bring the A down a half step to the A flat. Very good. And this actually completes the whole octave. Let's see if we can summarize the whole octave. Let's start with A. The next key is a black key that can either be reached by raising the A to an A sharp or by lowering the B to a B flat, right? Then the next key, will be the B. Hit the bad note there. The next key is a white key again, the C. Then raise the C with a sharp brings us to the C sharp. And also could be a D flat by lowering the D. Move on to the D itself. Raise the D with a sharp is a D sharp. And this note could also be named right E flat because we come down from the E, which is the next white key right there. Then head on to the next white key, F. Raise it with a sharp will give us the correct F sharp. And the next white key is the G, so we could also end up on this key, naming it G flat. That's right. Move on to the G. Raise it with a sharp is the G sharp, which also could be exactly A flat. And after the A flat, we end up on the A again, and our octave is complete. So what you just learned here with me is, with the previous lesson and this lesson, all the notes, all the 12 half steps that the Western tonal musical system agreed on how to subdivide the range from one pitch to the double frequency of the same note, alright? If you remember, A2 to A3 is an octave, and in between we have lots of different half tones that divide the octave. So all the white keys together with the black keys, they make up the chromatic scale, and the chromatic scale is the mother scale of all scales we know in our tonal system. If you know the chromatic scale, you actually know all the scales there are. Sounds funny and is actually really true, and will be a deeper subject of the scales lesson of this course that comes later, okay? Where we will take a look at how to build scales, which formulas to use to build major scales, minor scales, altered scales, to make church modes and stuff like that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Go ahead, watch it again. Remember all the black keys and their enharmonic names, how they can be named, how they can be derived. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I see you for the next one.